Hey, it's your virtual CTO, Ben Alfrey. In these videos, we talk about super technical stuff so that you can have an appreciation for just how easy it is to lose a lot of money trying to develop something, going in the wrong direction, going through all that trial and error, trying to do everything yourself, trying to reinvent the wheel, missing the little technical gotchas that put your project back months, that cost you revenue month after month while you're facing delays. You've invested all your money. You're holding this software that's not finishing. It's stopping your revenue. These videos are to show you how that stuff happens and how you can avoid it. We're looking at right now an image cropping feature that I'm working on for an application that I'm building. I'm developing this feature in isolation so that I don't get mired down trying to integrate this feature into the larger application. This is introducing a new dependency. It's introducing a dependency on this thing called jQuery.cropIt. Now, anytime there's a new dependency, it's really good to get it working in isolation first, because it's very hard to tell where the problems are coming from if you're trying to shoehorn a new dependency into your existing application and you're seeing some, error, but you don't know, is it from your other code or is it something to do with this code? So by getting it working in isolation, this is one of the ways that I bring a lot of value to a project. I get a new feature working in isolation, then we can send it off to the development team and have them work against a known working point of reference. That's a huge productivity and time saver. If I hand this working version to any developer, they're going to have a much easier time integrating it into their application. We're using Haml and Sass and Babel. In addition, we are using jQuery 3 and jQuery UI 1.2.1. Those are dependencies from the bigger application that I haven't shown you. It doesn't even matter what that application is, because if we can't get this working independently with those dependencies, if we can't get this working in isolation with the same dependencies that we're using on the bigger application, there's no point in trying to shove it into the bigger application. Does that make sense? We left off in the last video staring at this mysterious error having to do with jQuery 3, and we found that somebody has a solution for it on GitHub here. So now we have to create our own copy of this package and fix the problems in this package, and then see if it actually works. Now, before I even go to all the trouble of, trying to copy this and change the code, I see that this seems like maybe, well, it is quite a bit of code. It is web packed in there, meaning it has some other dependencies that it's relying upon. Yeah, I don't see an easy way to just grab the source code here, because it's 5 or 6 different files. I don't see an easy way to just grow. What I was thinking was I might be able to grab it and just paste it into the JavaScript here, but that's not an option. So we go head for the command line. The first thing I do is I create a fork of the repository, which it happens that I've already done that. A fork of the repository creates a situation where, let's see here, where I have my very own copy of the repository. See, it says forked from his. So now that I have my own copy, I can do some fun stuff with it. Watch what I can do on the command line. So to bring this into perspective, I'm now using some very advanced version control tools to create a parallel version of this open source package so that we can make and maintain our own modifications to it, at least until some point later on when this problem gets fixed and we can then abandon our copy and go back to the main copy. We want to stay with the main line if we can, but in this case we have to do what's called branching or forking, and so I need to make some modifications to it on my local development environment. I have to actually open up some source code files and do some real work. So let's clone the repository. No problem, it's done that. And now here we go, we're looking at these files, but it's not a very exciting view. Let's open it up in an editor where it makes a little more sense. So now I'm looking at it in TextMate, and I just want to be really careful that you don't get lost in too many of the details here. The point is, let's circle back just for a minute. The point is we're trying to get this right here to work with this right here. And in order to do that, we need to build our own custom version of it. Okay, so we're going back to the source code editor, and I see in the source code here, let's go ahead and open it up. Looks good. So somewhere in this file, somewhere in this 600 or 700 lines, there is an incompatibility with jQuery 3 that we need to fix, and we already know where it is, because if we go back to the original package and we go to these pull requests, we see this second pull request changed some files on line 101, right down here, right where this allow drag drop thing is happening. Somebody has introduced some changes. Now, if I want to, I can copy these changes right from here into here, but that's not the best practice. The best practice is as follows. Number one, does the package build on my machine? Let's try it. The guy says that we're supposed to build it using Webpack. So let me try Webpack. Nope, that didn't work. So we need to troubleshoot that. Now, this is a big, big deal. This is why you want to avoid having to maintain your own packages, maintain your own dependencies. And I'm going to get into lots of ranting on this, but you want to keep your development stack as minimal as possible, which means you don't have to build and compile and, transpile things on your own machines, your development machines. All of that kind of stuff slows development teams down tremendously. So this is a really heavy decision that I'm making right here, because you're starting to see already that it's not easy. My machine is not set up to build this package. It was super easy to just go to cdnjs.com and type in what's it called? Crop it. Oh, maybe it's not on cdnjs. Where did I find it? JS Deliver. Okay, it's on JS Deliver. It's just a different place that hosts a bunch of dependencies. JS Deliver. Okay, so let's go there and crop it. There it is, right? So it was super easy for us to go here and just, grab the link to it. No problem. Here, let's, take that script tag or whatever. This was easy. It's already built. It's perfect. This is how we'd love every dependency to be. But in this case, we're getting into the mud here. We're starting to build the package ourselves, which means somebody's got to know how to maintain it. And by the way, it's going to have to be a pretty high-level person to understand how to do all this stuff. Right here, we already have an issue. So let's solve the issue. The first thing I need to do is install all of the packages that this thing depends upon. Let's take a look at how I know what this depends upon. Right in here in this package thing, you see it says dev dependencies right here. This, to develop this package, which is what we're doing, we're working on it. To develop this package, we have to depend upon all of these things. We have to install all of these other packages, which in turn may have their own dependencies, and down and down and down the rabbit hole we go. This is why it's so expensive to maintain your own packages versus using something from open source and try your hardest not to have to modify it. In our case, we're not going to back down to jQuery version 2. That's just not a possibility for our project. So I want to see what can be done to bring this into compliance with jQuery version 3. This is part of the research. It's cheap now to figure this out and decide, how difficult it is. But it is an ongoing expense to continue to maintain and to keep pace with the other development that the original package maintainer has going on. There's communication that needs to happen. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal to get into this kind of cost. But let's go ahead and begin installing all of these dependencies, and it's going to jam for a while. And while it does, I just want to talk a little bit more about some other reasons why we might want to benefit from or why we might benefit from maintaining our own versions of this. There are 3 open pull requests right now, and I see another one here that says fixes an issue about a slow dialog in Chrome. It's another very minor fix, but hey, it's something that that somebody researched and they figured out how to do it, and it hasn't been pulled in. It's been sitting there for 17 days. So whoever created this package, it seems like there may not be a lot of activity right now. Let's see when the latest commit was. The latest commit was March 2 of 2016, so that's way back. I'm not seeing that this person is probably using this anymore. Maybe it was created for a project and that project is gone. 9 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, that's the last time some of these files were changed. So maybe it needs some fresh energy in it. If it suits our needs, from a feature standpoint, then it might be worth it to contact this person and say, hey, make me an admin of this. I'll start sprucing it up again. I'll start, accepting pull requests and things like that. So we've got that feature. Let's check out this feature. It says this isn't nearly ready to be merged, so I'm gonna just bail out of it right there. Okay, let's see if our packages are all done installing. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff that installed. Do you want to know about every one of these? And every one of these could be a problem for us, because if there is even one little thing somewhere in here that's not working correctly, it's going to create an issue for us where we're going to have to go another level. It's like Inception, right? We're going to have to go another level deeper and fork somebody else's package and fix that one. This is developer hell right here. This is what you want to avoid if you possibly can, because it's a very delicate dance to get through this and not waste all your money. If you're wondering why your project is not going anywhere and yet your developer is working hard every day and late at night, this is a picture of probably, the type of thing that's happened is the developer has gone down, let's see, inception, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 15 levels of inception deep, right? So it's easy as a developer to get lost and not see the forest for the trees. Remember the forest? The forest is right here where we're just trying to get this one little error to stop. That's what we're trying to do. And, it seems that we have an impossible job ahead of us if we want to maintain all these packages. So let's go back and see what happens if I just take this source code just for a second here. All right, let's grab it And now let's open it up in TextMate here. We'll paste it in. We're looking for this line here called allow drag and drop. So let's search for it. Okay, we found the line. It's line 273. Let's see what this person... Now, this is just experimental. This is just, you know, like, can we do something super kludgy just to get this thing working? You know, so to avoid all of this, right? To avoid having to babysit all of this forever, right? That's what we're hoping to do. So let's find out if we can just maybe take these 4 lines and copy them in here somehow. We'll have to remove those plus symbols a little bit. Okay, so let's say something like this. We'll do some nice formatting. Boy, I don't like it when people don't use their curly braces. I don't even hire programmers that do that. It's such a confusing practice. But anyway, let's kind of indent this and, you know, get it nice. Okay, so there we go. We now have made that change. And now there was one more change. I'm not even going to save it right now. There's one more change in this other pull request. Let's go find this one. Sorry, this demo is getting a little long. So we're looking for image/star, and we want to replace it with this stuff. Okay, so we're going to get a twofer out of this little experiment that we're doing here. Okay, so I've made those edits. Now I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take all 1,200 lines, and I'm just going to just paste it in here. I'm just going to, you know, paste it way in at the bottom here, just like that. I don't even really want to see it. So now let me go back to settings and let me take out that crop it tool, right? So now let's see if we can clear our console and get this working. Okay, so it says can't read property of undefined. So I think what's happening here is we may need to put the library code maybe above our stuff. Let's try that. Let's see if that helps anybody. Okay, well, we've pasted it in with the fixes, and now we're seeing another error. I warned you that this might happen, so let's stop this video and chase down this error if we can.